Hello, and welcome back to Dietitians Beyond Borders. Today we're traveling to Brazil, a country known for its vibrant culture, diverse cuisine, and unique approach to public health and nutrition. Joining me today is an amazing dietitian from Brazil. Her name is Isabelle, who will be sharing her experience in the dietetics profession and insights into the nutrition landscape in Brazil. Welcome. Can you share a bit about your journey into dietetics and your current work?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, everyone who's watching. Thank you, Jennifer, for this amazing invitation and opportunity to share a little about nutrition here in Brazil as a career and how we view our public health as dietitian as well. So, a little bit about myself. I, when I was younger, I actually wanted to be a cook. And my parents were kind of weirded out about this professional choice. And they were like, can you do something that will involve food, but not actually? And then you go and be a cook. And I was like, okay. I liked biology when I was in high school, so I think I can do nutrition and go this way. Once I was doing it, I love it so much. And I found out a passion about the clinical part of it, helping, aiding actually sick people with food and improving their quality of life. That I was amazed that I couldn't do anything more with my life. I was so passionate about this new job in this new field that I was discovering. So here in Brazil, we have a residency for dietitians, and I did mine in oncology. So it's a multi-professional program where we have exchange with nurses and physical therapists and all sorts of healthcare professionals. We do 2 years of it. It's a residency. Yeah, we do it in the hospital. I was just focused on learning about these patients and getting to know all the stages of the treatment, all through the beginning, through the end of life care. It was amazing. I moved to São Paulo to do that. I'm original from Brasilia, it's the capital. And then I kept falling in love with nutrition and decided that I needed to help construct the nutrition that I was learning. And I decided to do a PhD in breast cancer and metabolic pathways here. Yeah, I ended it in 2021. It was a journey. It was great. I love the theme. And I went on to do ambulatory clinic with just oncology patients. And right now, probably 8% of my patients are breast cancer women going through all the stages and all types of breast cancer. With that, I have the opportunity to teach about breast cancer as in postgrad school, which is also great because it's so specific how diet changes the landscape of the disease throughout metabolic changes and quality of life and managing all the side effects, especially the menopause for the menopause women. And as I kept falling in love again and again to nutrition, I say it overwhelmed me, and I started medical school. So I'm now fourth year in medical school. So yeah, so I'm trying to. I keep working as a dietitian, and I also I'm back in school trying to be a doctor now.
Wow, Isabel, that's phenomenal. I mean, I think whoever is
Yeah.
listening or watching, we've had some great speakers, but I am so honored to have you as well on this podcast. Um, By the way, I'm not sure if you know, but I also work, in oncology as well. The field
Nice.
here is a bit different. The journey, how to become a dietitian, and how do you become basically also a specialized dietitian in any way. But that's great that you're doing it, that you finished your PhD and now you're back in school, wrapping up your medical school as well.
Yeah.
My goodness. I'm sure your parents are so proud, right? They wouldn't even
Yeah.
expect you to get to that point. But you know what? Once you have that passion, and I can see it in your eyes, I know we just started talking, but I can see it. And sky is the limit. Sky is the limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure I know we'll talk about that in a minute about how rewarding it is to help people to go above and beyond and just, be such a good advocate for them and you being in love with this passion and like with this field truly is everything. So that's great.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so exciting. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
So hi Anna. Can you please tell us a bit about yourself? How did you fall in love in nutrition? We're so excited to get to know you better.
Hi, girls. Yes, I can. I graduated in nutrition like 90 years ago. It's a long time, but I enjoy work in the clinic, but I started to feel like something was missing. Doing just a diet wouldn't change someone's body, And I kind of going to another field, and I start to work in the e-commerce field, and I built a career there. So I start to work long hours and get a lot of pressure in the clients, and I had a burnout, anxiety attacks, and I got fat, 18 kilograms, and I started to get into depression and I started medication. And I remember I was in the second day of medication and I was in my bed feeling sad and scrolling Instagram. And I got this profile of Evelyn Delanogares. I don't know if you know him. He's a psychologist here in Brazil, a well-known psychologist. And was the first time that I saw neuroscience, and I started to study that and got new habits, understand all of that, and I start to change myself, and I start to lose weight, and then I say, that's what I need. That's what's missing in the nutrition. So I got back, and then now I developed my method that got together nutrition and neuroscience and psychology, and I help people now to get the body that they want without the madness that is the crazy, the fast of today type of work.
Yes, that's great, Anna. I mean, I was just talking with Isabel, both of you, when I got to know you a bit better, before we met, you both are phenomenal. You are doing amazing, amazing work. And the best thing of us as dietitians, I feel we're like, mini cheerleaders, always, advocating for our patients, always being there for them. And it really is beyond rewarding. Like you can sleep at night knowing that you're doing everything you can, and it's just amazing. So, let's start. What is the process to become a dietitian in Brazil? It seems that there are a couple steps here. So, can you share like a brief way how, let's say I want to move tomorrow. What
Yeah,
should we be doing?
we do have a special type of SATs here in Brazil, so we can go to university. The course here is about 4 to 5 years. It depends. The last year, the last year or semester depends on the course that you're taking. You need to do some internships, and we have to do in a hospital, in a kitchen, and here in a public healthcare hospital in primary care. And we have, after we graduate, we need to do a certification. We don't have a test, but we just need to show them that we finish the course, and they give you a number, which I think is similar there. You are registered dietitian, right? Here we are also registered dietitian. It's a different name, but it's the same idea. And that's it. You don't have to do anything more to be a dietitian. If you want to keep specializing, we have postgraduate school, we have residency of many types. We have nephrology, ICU, we have primary care, cardiometabolic, there's endocrine, there's a lot of programs for residency. Both, all of them actually are 2 years long in hospitals with our 60 hours a week to be, yeah, it's very time consuming, but it's a great way to specialize. And we can go to a master's or also a PhD. We have an association that gives out the specialist title, but it's not mandatory. You can have it. There are societies that also can grant you a specialization title, but it's also not mandatory. And that's it. We have this council that registers us, and we have some ethics that we need to follow. There's a lot of bureaucracy involved after you graduate, but that's it.
Good, good. I mean, it's so interesting with here, and as I told you before, I'm from Lebanon, so obviously every country has its own thing. But here in the US, recently, I don't know if you're aware, last year, it's we can't do, first of all, we do an exam. Before it was you do 4 years, you do your internship, your dietetic internship, like 8 months, and then you take an exam, which, oh my God, it is the
It's
worst.
hard. Okay.
I remember I cried when I when I passed
No.
the exam. It was the best day of my life.
Oh, great.
But yeah, it was tough. But anyway, now they changed it. After 2024, you have to do an under like a bachelor's. You need to complete the bachelor's and the master's program, and then do a dietetic internship to become and an exam to become a dietitian. It's like now
It's very
it's a
hard.
lot. It's a lot more, but some people are with, some people are against, it's
Yeah.
you
I
know,
think there's both sides. There's pros and cons of doing this way.
you're right.
Um,
You're right.
I don't know if I mentioned it, but when I was in residency, I did a month of internship in New York Presbyterian there in New
Really?
York. Yeah,
Nice.
I
It's
was very, yeah, I was very curious how were dietitian's job in another country? Is it similar to us? What we're doing? Like, is it that different? And English was the only language I was able to speak, so I went there. They accepted me,
Yeah.
and I had that impression that it was much harder to become a dietitian there in the US
Yeah.
than here in Brazil. The path to become it's very long and demanding, but I think something happens there that doesn't happen here. So I know the importance of being a registered dietitian is because you can be a nutritionist, and for what I understood, you don't have to go to college to become a nutritionist or something like that. You can give diet counseling without being a registered dietitian. And here in Brazil, that's completely forbidden. You can never give any type of dietary counseling or program, or you cannot be a doctor or a physical therapist or a nurse and give any type of nutritional counseling. So I think we need to make it a little bit easy because we have so much um, um, health force here. We need dietitians on public settings and in kitchens and in
Yeah.
many settings. I don't know, maybe that's something that got stuck with me, like the reason that it was so hard.
You know, to answer this, um Yes, you're right. Here, when you graduate as just basically you did nutrition, or even like, sometimes there are some certificates or stuff like that that you do, and then you're like a nutritionist or whatever. Those people,
Hmm.
yes, they might give you some sort of education, but they can't do medical nutrition therapy because it's not part of their license. They are not
Hmm.
licensed at the end of the day. So when it comes to, patient care, especially in clinical aspects, even, for like weight management or just, anything on a holistic approach, it is definitely more recommended to be a registered dietitian, you know? Um,
Yeah.
so honestly, between you and I wish it is forbidden here. I wish it is
Yeah,
because I mean, it's just they're not qualified enough. You know what I mean? You
exactly.
can do 2, 3 years of whatever degree and just call yourself that way. And nutrition
Yeah.
is such a young science. Every day there's something new. So anyway, it's so interesting. I've been meeting, dietitians all over the world, and every country is like
It's
has its
different,
own
right?
route. So it's truly, truly remarkable. How are dietitians integrated into the healthcare system? Do you feel like they're valued? Do you feel like, the other healthcare professionals, uh, you know, seek your advice, listen to you? What do you think about that?
Yeah, so just to explain a little bit how it works, the healthcare system here, we have the public healthcare system, which is divided into some complexity categories. So we do have the primary care, which is a little hospital in all the communities. So we do have a range that we need to have one of these we call basic unit of health. We need to have one of them in all the neighborhoods in all around, and it goes getting more complex until we have the fourth type of hospital that's the most complex, probably like a cancer hospital is in this type of classification. So the dietitian have multiple roles here in the public health care. When we are in school, we need to understand how this primary healthcare works. We do have a really strong um, policy here in Brazil that we need to focus our energy in the primary care. It's the gateway to enter the healthcare system, how we triage all these patients, and how we prevent the disease from getting more complex for them to getting in these most complex centers. So for the regular dietitian, we all have to experience a little bit this primary care where we can give counseling, we do lectures, groups. We go into people's house to see how are they doing. We have home visits with the doctor, with the nurse. We have a community agent. It's someone who lives in the neighbor that we go with this person to the house of the of the patient, and that's a way we can be. We still have short amounts of dietitians in this primary care, so we have like one dietitian for the whole community. It's not much.
Yeah.
And if we think about it, just I don't want to prolong myself, but we have the people that use the healthcare system are people with low income here. So where they live, where we have most of this primary care, where we need most of this primary care, it's places like favela. And we don't have a lot of supermarkets there. And it's especially in hills. This favela goes under mountains, and there's always these really difficult places to go. So when we think about giving a diet counseling for this patient, there's a little room to say, please eat fruits and vegetables, because there's no way to buy them. So I think that's for the dietitian with the primary care, the primary, like in the UBS that we call, that's the main problem. That's the main difficulty because it's hard, not about the financial part, which it is a problem, but there's food insecurity going throughout all these communities. But they do have um, kind of places that they can buy high processed food very easily. So I think that's one of the problems. And then as we get more complex healthcare, we do also have dietitians. I think in this setting, they are more respected and more needed than in the primary care. I still think we have some way to go. But that's it. I think we're doing our way and getting and showing them how important we are.
Great, great. Anna, quick question. Brazilian cuisine is incredibly diverse, right? How does traditional
Yes.
Brazilian food fit into modern nutrition recommendations?
That is a great question. Um, I saw so many nutritionists here in Brazil that do some restricted diets without this typical food, saying you have to follow this diet without all of that, and that is not a good way. You know, I work with uh, patients around all the Brazil and other countries too, and I always adapt their food. Uh, if it was, if it is a food that's not too good, I I tell them the advantage and disadvantage, and sometimes you can fit in some meals, but you need to explain to them why
Yes.
why is that is better than that, and if it's that not that bad or it's not that good, you can change a little bit. You know, I work with follow-up models, so I follow them and we do this change a little bit, and then can work with typical foods, maybe some candy. It's not about restriction. It's
Mhm.
about, you can eat all you want, but you need to know which time do you have to eat that or the thing that you want or have food.
Absolutely. And same here. And I'm not sure if I was telling Isabel, I'm from Lebanon, but I live in the United States. And the thing is, it's all about all about sustainability, long-lasting goals. We don't want to restrict that person because once they end this journey together, them and whether it's with us, you know, they're going to go back to their same usual habits. So how can adjust
Yes.
long term, right? So absolutely, this is great that it's embedded in that way. Isabel, I know we spoke about some food insecurity challenges that people some people face in Brazil. What are challenges that dietitians in Brazil face, and especially when it comes to that or even beyond?
Yeah, I think the first one is understand this difficulty that is to buy fresh food for some people and not generalize. I think we have clear in our minds what is a healthy diet and what we need to change to get to that health diet. But maybe we need to start considering what this person can do, how she can buy that, how can she implement that in her diet, in his diet. So I think that's a really big challenge for us because we have all these diverse foods and we're known for that, but not everyone can. And we need to start soft, I think, our speech to the public to get them to start somewhere, not the perfect. I think that's what a little bit what Anna was saying. We don't have to do it perfectly, but maybe what's best for you. I think we also have a very big challenge here uh, in how the field is changing. So we have a new profession here from doctors. They're called nutrologists, and it's a doctor that is specialized in nutrition. So it's a doctor that should, one of the primary um, things that they do is they prescribe parenteral nutrition, and then can prescribe, we can't, we know how to calculate it, but we can't prescribe it, and maybe do some intravenous supplementation where it's required. And this profession grew a lot, and it's a blurred line for some professionals where the dietitian work starts and where it ends, and when the nutrology starts. So I think we have some lines to be drawn from these two types of distinct professions, because they are both needed here, but they need to be, I think, a little bit more clear for us and for the patients, so they can understand when they need a dietitian and when they need a doctor. So I think for us dietitians, this is a very big challenge. And we also face here, as a worldwide epidemic of obesity and high processed food, and changes in how people relate to food, how they relate to their lifestyle, being more sedentary than ever. Children have high rates of obesity and fast food being everywhere. So that's we had a big change in how we eat. So here we have culture of eating rice and beans like every day to lunch and dinner. And I talk to people now, I think Anna can also give her input about this. People don't know how to cook beans anymore, which is it's not very difficult, but it requires a different type of pan and some type of mixing seasoning to make a good beans. And I hear everything from people that doesn't know how to use this pan, from people that say that doesn't have time, that they don't like it, and it's a very healthy food. So we need to bring people back to keep to the kitchen and to eat in this way. It's not our culture to eat hamburger and pizza and delivery every night. So we have this. I think I would say for dietitian, these are the three most um, challenges we're facing right now.
Wow, wow, wow. I mean, when you say when you say fast food, I remember my Brazilian friend, she told me you guys have something like a restaurant called Habib's, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
He was like, don't you know the Lebanese fast food place, the Habib's? I'm like,
yeah, Habib's. Yeah, it's like one real spear. I don't know. It's actually good. I like it, but it's not meat. They sell it's mainly soy.
God knows what
So
it is, God knows, but yeah,
yeah.
we don't have it. So like that's such a cool thing. They should do this in Lebanon. But anyway,
Yeah.
mm, that's great. But 100%, going step by step with the patient and the client and going back to square zero is, truly, truly important because that shows realistic. But it's you guys who will be, saving the day, right? You will be
Yeah.
you will be helping them and obviously all the rest amazing dietitians. What opportunities are emerging for dietitians in Brazil? As Isabel was saying, challenges are there, unfortunately, like in every country. And especially that nutrologist thing, this is super, super, I mean, exciting for whoever's interested in it. Yet, doctors have a tendency to always like get out of their lane, right? And, sometimes work in nutrition where they're not they haven't done all their years of experience and work. So now having a doctor in nutrition, yes, there will be some fine tuning there. But Anna, based on your experience, based on your colleagues, your friends who are in nutrition, where do you see your field is gonna go in Brazil? Like what opportunities?
That's an interesting question. I think now we have this wave about AI getting all the professions, and for the nutrition is going to be interesting because we can not be anymore just a calculator, a diet calculator. you need to do something different. And in my part, I always did this with behaviors and a part of psychologists, but you need to get the differential, because now we already see that, but it's gonna be increased that patients making a diet to himself in the chat GPT, and sometimes it's a good diet, but he doesn't know how he lost weight, but it's not in a health way because he don't get the knowledge. So there is something that if you are a good nutrition, you're gonna develop that. It's important to develop that and use that technology a favor to yourself, to your job. I think it's going something on this way.
Yeah, yeah. Such a, scary time. I'm not sure. I mean, yes, we know it's going to benefit a lot of people, right? But unfortunately, with everything, some people abuse it. And in our field, it can be abused really quickly. I mean, look at social media, right? Whoever, anybody and anybody can just open a reel or a TikTok, right? And just do a video and it goes viral, and God knows if it's reliable, right? Or if it's evidence-based, or if there's good, you know, research. I mean, we study years and years, and Isabel told me a bit about, the journey to become a dietitian, even specialty. You guys work hard to get to where you are. So for somebody to just write how to lose weight in 10 days and you get a whole thing, it's not fair. So as you mentioned, just being there, being present, and that's something in all countries we should keep an eye on. So I love that. Finally, for both of you, if you could give one piece of advice to dietitians or aspiring nutrition professionals, what would that be? Anybody can start.
Wow, that's a tough one. But one thing I say to new dietitians, I will say two things. The first is don't give up. It's a beautiful profession. You are right when you tell like I go to sleep happy, because we talk about really good stuff about food, about how to be healthier, how to take care of your body, how to take care of people you love with food. So don't give up. It's a beautiful profession. We need to study a lot, but it's very rewarding. And at least here in Brazil, also don't give up on public policy. I think even in the clinical uh, area, we got a little far away from what the real impact is. So when we can be able to do changes in public policy, it's where we change how a country or even a world eat. So we have to engage in these policies. We have to fight for good food, for health food, for a better healthcare system that includes dietitians. So I would say these two things: don't give up and don't forget about public policy.
I love that. I love that.
I would say that you need to study beyond college. You never stop studying, because like I was saying, you can't be a diet calculator only. You need to know more, and mostly listen to your patient. Active listen. You need to listen more than you talk. Mostly in the first consultation, you need to understand the patient, and you need to treat them like you want to be treated if it wasn't you in their place. So I think is that, and work hard. Good work is always rewarding.
Wow, 100%, 100%. Thank you so much, ladies, for sharing your expertise on dietetics in Brazil. You're both phenomenal. I am so happy I got to meet you on that podcast, and I'm sure that's not the end. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and share. Until next time, stay curious, stay nourished, and keep exploring the world of nutrition beyond borders. Thank you.